coming to the last part of the interview, we will talk about you working without taking any salary as a medical doctor all these years. How is that possible? About your family, how did they support you and cope with your being away most of the time building these institutions? Was there any dissatisfaction from their side? And what is your message to young doctors who are starting out in this profession? What kind of a legacy would you like to leave behind? And lastly, what do you have to say about the patient doctor mistrust which is prevalent today? And I mean, how would you advise people to trust doctors more?
Okay, so I work basically non-salaried right from day one, which was 1993 when we started Sanjeevan Hospital. So there are two aspects to my earning which I could have earned. One was my professional service which I give to my patients for surgery, and they pay me for that surgery which I do. And the second aspect for the work that I do for the organization and for which they can or may pay me. So the first thing was about Peter Drucker, who said that voluntary organizations must volunteer. So if you don't volunteer in a voluntary organization, it's not a voluntary organization, then it's a business venture. So I said that if I have to volunteer, I must be the first person to volunteer if I am starting a voluntary organization. So that if I have to volunteer, I will not take any money for all the management, travel, and anything that I do for this hospital, I will not take any money. And is it possible now? So the question was that I have to feed a family and I have to make a name for myself. I have to buy a car, I have to buy shoes. I want to travel to these 4 countries. So I also have my needs. So what I started was at that time a unique model that doctors who are running the hospital must be very good in their own profession. So first of all, they don't need any money from the organization as such. If they are good in their profession, they are happy professionals, earn happy money from their patients who are satisfied. And this money, the patients which they pay me, is just like any other doctor in Sanjeevan or Deenanath. It is not different from them. So whatever percentage of payment that they get, I get the same amount of payment. But since I am a person who is satisfied with whatever I get, I never had any qualms about my devoting time to other things and not getting paid in that time. That typically happens if you work probably in America, that the moment of each moment of time must have a dollar attached to it. But at least in my life, there never was a dollar attached to the moment of my work. So I said that my patients, I am operating on them, they are giving me money, I am happy with them. And as such, from day 1, 1990 onwards, I was always a busy surgeon. So I never had any shortage of money for the little needs that I had, because I don't have time to spend. Now at least I am traveling and spending, but previously I never spent a pie out of my pocket. All the days I used to sit in eat in the canteen or from my home. So my expenses were so meager that I saved good amount of money by the time my bypass was made. And after coronary bypass, I started spending. Actually, it realized that I must also spend and get some happiness out of life. But that also money was good enough for me to do everything that I wanted to do in my life. Since I had no vices, no alcohol, no gambling, I don't have time for anything else I never travel by business class, and I never stay in a 5-star hotel. I never eat in a 5-star hotel. Even if I go abroad and if a company is hosting me, I insist on a simple hotel. And my lifestyle is, as I told you, grounded and simple because I enjoy these things. When I go for my birding trips, trekking trips, I stay in a simple hotel because I feel if you stay in a good hotel, you get trapped in that hotel. If it's a 5-star hotel with gym, with sauna, with nice facilities, with pool table, why would you go out? So I don't want such hotel. When I want to go to America, to Nepal, to Uttarakhand, to Peru, to Africa, I want to stay in a very ordinary hotel. So the hotel will make me go out and I have come there for whatever scuba or trekking or birding or animals or whatever. I will spend maximum time in those places. Whereas if I choose a good hotel, I can afford, I am misspending my money on the wrong things. And I think it worked well. I never needed any money from this organization. I still don't need any money from the organization, and it became a model of volunteering. So all the other doctors who would have asked for money never could ask for money. So no trustee, no doctor in this hospital, they do lot of things for the hospital, but they are not paid. That is their volunteering. And many people do many things here which are completely out of the book. Means I am saying about professional doctors. They never expect any money because we have set a tone like this. I was happy doing this. And for this, most important was support from my family. I mean, I could not have done this if my wife was demanding diamonds, or wanting to stay travel by business class, or wanting to stay in a 5-star hospital. These are my ideas. They are not my wife's ideas. Means they are not. If you come to a consensus between husband and wife, then you enjoy life together. If you don't agree, then it cannot work. Marriage cannot work, or the ideas cannot work. So my wife was always, she was a program executive on radio in Bhopal, and I think she is a great artist by herself, not in the terms of commercial art, but she does painting, she does quilting, she writes poems, she compares programs. So she has her life full. We have 2 dogs and cats. We have a small farm, collective farm, like an Israel. I told you about Israel. So there is a concept in Israel called kibbutz. Kibbutz means collective farming. So we have a collective farm of 20 doctors near Pune, where we go and spend our time. So my wife has her hands full all the time. And I also involved my family into hospital work, again as volunteers, not as paid workers, but as volunteers. So my wife for many years solved problems of workers who have drunk husband at home, drug addict children at home. So many, so now they call it CSR or whatever, but long ago, before this term CSR come, my wife was helping employees in Sanjeevan as well as Deenanath. At the one point of time, we had a crisis in Sanjeevan about medical store. So what happened was this medical store contract got over in 1996. By that time, the hospital was running well, and this medical store was given on rent by previous hospital management before we came in. So when the contract got over, I said that okay, let's run the medical store ourselves. We need the money. We need good instruments in the hospital. Where are we going to get money from? All the time we are begging outside to the society. They are giving, but we can generate our own money. So everybody in the trust said no. We are doctors. How can we sell medicines? I said, I am not selling. I am not earning a pie out of that medicine. But if the hospital is giving good medicines to the patient, and it is a simple trading operation, this is good money for patient care only. It's not for me. So they said, no, it is not our core area of work. We are not expert in medical store. We are just simple doctors, and we should not spend our energy into the medical store. So I said, okay, I will run the medical store. I don't want a pie out of medical store. My wife will work there till the time we find good management for the medical store, and we will make it the best medical store in Pune. So they said that what is the best medical store and what rent you will give. Means you will give means the store will generate, because it's a own store now, not rented to somebody else. So I said that whatever is your expectation. So they said that 20,000 or 30,000. As I told you, as Americans have great things, Indian Puneites have very small benchmarks. So they said that 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees is our idea of a good store. So I said, done. We will run this medical store, means as a trust only. I am in charge, my wife will take care. If anything less than 30,000, I will pay from my own pocket. I am a doctor who has good practice. 20,000, 30,000 is no big deal for me. I will pay from my own pocket. Say that what will happen if the profit goes to the hospital. I have nothing to do with the profit. I don't want any salary for my wife. I want nothing out of this. But we will show to you that this concept is useful. And we started this. So I went to all the medical stores in Pune and Mumbai with my wife, and we studied. And we saw that they had stores, shelves according to company like Johnson and Pfizer and whatever. So I said, what nonsense is this? The medicine has to be by ABCD. So they said that no medical store has ABCD. I said that our medical store will have ABCD. And we started putting medicines according to A for amoxicillin, B for Bicosul. So all the shelf, nothing to do with the company. the medical name of the medicine and the shelf. So the medical person who is there doesn't have to go to the company, he goes to the shelf, opens and he gets the medicine. Then everybody who is working in the store has to be a pharmacist. Then there has to be minimum stock. Then there has to be first in, first out. So there were many principles which are prevalent today, which we invented for ourselves because we had no idea about that such principles already exist in the world. Whatever readings and whatever we could understand, we implemented. The medical store became a runaway success, started earning 2 lakh rupees a month within 3 months. They were asking me 20,000, it was earning 2 lakh rupees a month within 3 months. So understand how the people who are renting out are cheating you, or you are cheating yourself because you are stupid. Deenanath Medical Store, now again run by Lata Mangeshkar Medical Foundation, has 172 pharmacists working for it and has got a turnover of 150 crores. This is only possible because of 1995 day when we started running our medical store. So my wife, who is crucial in, so she had her fill of satisfaction. Her husband is working in the hospital and you are at home, will never work. So she has to participate in the Sangeet Rajni, she would volunteer in the Sangeet Rajni, she would volunteer in the cricket match. So many exciting things are going on here because we have music programs conducted in the hospital. It is a unique hospital. We have an auditorium and the best musicians in Pune city and many times from Mumbai come here and perform free of charge for service to patients. So she has a good thing to compare these programs, to talk to the artists, get things going. Employees are there, medical store once upon a time, now she doesn't look after medical store. Now it's a very big professional medical store that we are running. This is one of the best stores in the city today. So she always participated in whatever we were doing. She was happy over here and she could see what I was doing at that time. My mother used to look after housekeeping in this hospital, again without taking any money. And she was very happy because she could, we have mothers at home and mothers are very good at housemaking and housekeeping in my opinion. If you ask me who is the best housekeeper, I would any day say that everybody's mother is the best housekeeper. And who is the worst housekeeper is the boy in the house. He is the worst housekeeper. So I am that boy who is the worst housekeeper. But my mother was the best housekeeper. So she worked for many years. She worked as a housekeeper. She looked after linen, cleanliness, aesthetics, whatever thing. So they were very happy that the hospital is growing. My life as such was good, fulfilled because I am earning money from my practice. So there was no complaint from the family as such on that front that you are doing something that we don't understand. They were always part of whatever I was doing. And so it was, I would say, a fulfilling journey for everyone in my house. My father is a farmer. So he has a nursery. He used to once upon long ago, used to sell plants. Now he is 97 years old. But when he was not 97, he was looking after the plants in the hospital. What good plants can come to the hospital? And we don't need any money for this. That is what his voluntary spirit is all about. And this is then transmitted to other doctors who also their family members and everybody. So Deenanath becomes a family hospital for everybody who is working here. It's not my family hospital. It's every person in Mangeshkar family comes and does something in this hospital. For them also it is a family hospital. It's not that it has to be Lata Didi or Asha Tai or Usha Tai or Dhananjay Mangeshkar. Anybody who is in from Mangeshkar family, even their close relatives associated with them would come and feel it is their hospital. That is the kind of spirit that we have raised. We are all proud that it has become a hospital like a home for everybody who enters this hospital. One of the things that sets it apart from other hospitals. And I would say two things in the end. One was about young doctors, what they should do, and the trust deficit that doctors and patients have now probably developed across the world. This trust deficit started with commercialization of medicine. I don't think it started with doctors or patients. When I was young, a school kid in Pune, my family doctor, they used to give some medicines in a paper box and some cough syrup in an unnamed bottle. I never doubted what they were giving me, whether it is safe, what brand it is. And I had no reason even today to doubt what they did in those days. They may have been kind of the greatest doctors on earth, but they were the best doctors on earth. So their knowledge of the world, knowledge of medicine may have been ordinary, but the interest about me was genuine. I could feel it as a child, and I never doubted what medicines they were giving, and we were happy patients going to them. So Dr. Nathu in Natubag was one of my family doctors. Dr. Biniwale near Shanwarwada was one of my family doctors, and we were very happy there. So what went wrong afterwards? So medicine started becoming commercial because of technology, because of big buildings, because everything that medicine stands today for is cutting edge. And this cutting edge, people feel it is cutting on their pockets. That is where the trust started deteriorating. So it was a great challenge for doctors to make patient feel that whatever we advise for you, number one, you have a choice, and number two, there is an alternative, and number three is it is in your best interest. So that you have a choice, we are not forcing anything upon you, that tomorrow you will die, so get bypass done today, tomorrow cancer will spread to all the organs, get operated tonight, tomorrow the hernia is going to burst, so I want to admit you tonight, is all bogus humbug medicine. So patient always must have a choice, never pressurize him. Any cancer surgery to be done, the time is between biopsy to surgery 3 weeks, worldwide, established scientifically. So you can tell the patient that think about it, if you want ask for a second opinion, do you want to get operated by me, and then come back to me. Don't tell me now, here and now, that Dr. Kelkar give me tomorrow's date. Go back. Think for some time. Give it some time. Give it a couple of days. Come back and then tell me, Dr. Kelkar, I want you to operate. I will operate. I don't want your word now. I don't think it is correct. So that is a choice. So you give them a choice. You give them an alternative. If there is any alternative to surgery, if alternative to allopathy, alternative to even getting treated, if there is anything, you must educate them about this alternative. If you educate them this about the alternative, then they have chosen surgery, they have chosen chemotherapy, they have chosen radiotherapy. If you force chemotherapy down upon their throat because you feel that it is important to give chemotherapy, it is not right. You must educate them. So doctor is like a family friend who educates patients that it is in your best, read about it, I am giving you some links to read about, and then come back. So alternative, I have as a personal doctor I am saying now that alternative is very important to patient. So first was choice, second was alternative, and the third was in their best interest. This whatever I am doing, you must believe it is in your interest, and in your best interest, second opinion and all, everything, reading on Google, do whatever you want to do. Once you feel that this doctor is advising me in my best interest, there will be no trust deficit. And I think that used to exist in the olden times. That is not existing today. Today's doctors, probably young doctors, want a quick buck. They have come out and they want to become successful. And there is no easy shortcut to success in my opinion. As I told you about step-by-step approach, you have to start at the bottom of the ladder. Today everyone wants to start at the top of the ladder. And this has infected IT. Every young IT engineer wants a crore rupees package. Why should anybody give? You start at the bottom. You start coding or machine learning or whatever you are doing and climb your way up. So a doctor has to start humble. Nobody should come to him in his first maybe couple of months. Why should somebody come to him? Their life is in danger in his hands. And then slowly he must build that confidence and start operating, start increasing his practice, and slowly reach a spot where people need him. So this slow and probably methodical journey is an important part of medicine. So my mixed response to your two questions was, one was why there is a trust deficit is because of this hurry. And the second was what the young doctors must learn is the patience. You are asking your patients to be patient. You are asking patients not to attack, not to retaliate, not to question, not to judge. It's okay, but in return, you should not be impatient reaching out to your patients. You should be very patient, allow them the entire freedom to choose their treatment and then come to you. And then they will never leave you. So, what I have seen over the years, one of the differences between Deenanath and other hospitals is a very large outpatient attendance in Deenanath. Most hospitals in Pune and Mumbai work on the model that doctors have their own consulting outside and patients are admitted in that hospital. So, the hospital is a lodging boarding. It's not a hospital. So, lodging boarding, we have an operation theatre, we have an ICU, we have a room, and whenever you need such a thing, you come to us. So, that is lodging boarding. Deenanath is different and my philosophy is different, that patient must come to here for a solution to his problem, and we must offer that solution. He must choose that solution and then get admitted. So, for that, for him to come, there has to be large outpatient footfall, and that footfall today, like year 2022, is 4.5 lakh patients in a year. 450,000 patients enter Deenanath only for consultation, not for indoor treatment and ICU and other things. Probably this is largest in Maharashtra, for I am absolutely sure it is the largest in Maharashtra. Forget about government hospitals, that's a different story altogether. But any private, corporate, non-profit, 4.5 lakh, you can check anywhere, 4.5 lakh outpatients a year is one of the largest. This footfall is because of the trust. And this trust is because when they come here, they want to consult for ophthalm, they want to consult for ENT, they want to consult for gynec, they want to consult for orthopedics, because they see this family atmosphere here. They see this choice, they see this alternative, they see that their interest is being served. Nobody is pressurizing them. So, the same lesson goes to young doctors out there. If you want to start practice, do follow these three simple principles: choice, alternative, in patient's best interest. And the fourth lesson of Deenanath is teamwork. Never start out as a solo doctor. Today's world is probably not safe for solo doctors. Patients are also angry, they are agitated, they have multiple problems. If you start out as a solo doctor, solo cancer surgeon, solo cardiac surgeon, solo ophthalmologist, most likely you will end up getting beaten up. But if you are a group of people who are on similar lines of thinking, you are likely to succeed in your practice. So, we have learned it probably might help you in your own life in future. Thank you.
You shared a lots of interesting stories with us, interspersed with great learning. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview.